And I'm Oliver.
And this little beauty is Ethel Arvan, a 1988 Ford Transit Flare. If you've watched our last episode, you will know that poor Ethel is a little bit poorly and needs a tiny bit of TLC. I say a tiny bit, she needs quite a bit.
After the absolute nightmare we had last weekend, we've decided that we're going to have to do some work on Ethel. So we've made a list and we're going to start working through it.
Oliver is doing jobs on Ethel, which I'm really pleased about, and I'm not ungrateful, but him doing jobs always results in me having to go and do a run around and pick up all the pieces. So somehow, every time Oliver does a job, it gives me 5. Is that a man thing? Armed with my tape measure, I have got strict instructions to measure, because I never usually measure. If I don't, Oliver will absolutely batter me. Bargain find. One below if you've got one near you. If you're doing anything in your van and doing alterations, Velcro, it's like a must have. £1. It costs me so much more than that in the market in town. On our previous video in Helmsley, we came into a mass amount of problems. We were breaking down, our phones were running out of charge, and our charging ports just gave up hope and stopped working. Wonderfully, as you can see, Oliver has now sorted the electrics and rewired this. Thankfully, we didn't need a new piece, it was just the wires in the back.
Next up is the USB charger in the front. I've ordered one, it's come. Trying to get in it. So yeah, that's a new one. It's actually got a voltometer on it as well, so it'll tell us the state of the starter battery, which I thought was quite cool. So yeah, I'm going to put that in now. I've already took front off, so it's just going to be a simple swap. And that's that working. 12.6 volts. I've actually put it in upside down, so I'll swap that round now.
Ethel's engine seems to be screaming out for a little help. Following our disastrous trip to Helmsley, where the engine ended up on the petrol station floor and she backfired several times, resulting in everyone ducking for cover, the time has come for this trouble of Ethel to be resolved once and for all.
There are two, one bin there and one bin down there, bolts what hold the carburettor to the manifold. Now, this one here, as I found out last time, just spins. And what's happening is there's air getting in through this joint and it's messing up with mixture. So I believe that these are meant to have studs in instead of a bolt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them off. I'm going to check the thread inside the manifold and that is going to determine if it's going to be a simple fix or not. Already taking this bolt out, I can see that it's knackered the threads up. It looks to me like that bolt is slightly too short. So it may be that I can just get a longer bolt. It might go a little bit deeper inside of the manifold and it might just grab. So it could not be the end of the world. The first place I've just been to didn't have any bolts or any gasket seal in stock. Believe it or not, a car spares that haven't got gasket seal, that is frightening. So I'm just going to go to Euro car parts, I believe now, just round the corner. Hopefully they've got something. They must have. If not, it'll be a case like with Halfords maybe or something like that, because as I say, I want to get this sorted today. I don't have to order anything, I want it done today and ready to maybe go out tomorrow. Just come out of Eurocell now. I've managed to get some gasket seal, so that's a bonus. They didn't have any bolts I wanted, but they have got some like longer ones, so I'm probably going to end up just cutting them down. These was the original bolts, but are too short. These are the only ones I could get. So there's a massive difference in size. So I'm going to cut them down to bang on what I need. This will get you out of a bit of a situation if your gasket does break or anything like that. So I'll put this in van after, and if we need it at any point, it might bail us out. What I will say is when you're tightening things like this up, you never tighten one bolt fully down. So to get them both to the point where they feel finger tight and they're just clamped, and then tighten them up one by one. That is the carburettor back on, so it's just going to be a case now connecting tubes and electrics, and then put air filter on, give it a test, see if it works.
So one of the troubles with Ethel that we've had is that she is covered in a little bit dated and doesn't quite fit in with what we like material. And in the summer, I bought these off of Shein, which have been fab. They're lightweight, they're really cheap, they're easy to wash and dry, and they're wonderful. And I did get used to, will you just move my coat? Yeah. We started off and I covered these ones and adapted these. So these fit pretty okay, all of these. All of these are fine. But then I got really lazy and we went away, and this is how they were left. So I've done all that, and it's not even sewn. Oh, God. There is something just not working for me here. Look at the state of that. Let's try again with new string. So I'm not a seamstress and I don't know why, but I cut this Velcro to the size of what this were, and somehow after I've sewn it, it's like shrunk. I don't know what I've done wrong. Feel free to put in comments if anybody knows what they're doing, because I evidently don't. Moment of truth. Let's see if my seamstress skills of winging it and adapting. So there's going to be a ring there, hopefully, and we'll just get a close up there. Look, I've even got it in where it needs to be. Look, the seat covers are all covered other than the headrests, which I've run out of material, so that will have to wait for another day.
So Leanne has got a massive obsession at minute with Velcro. So everything is Velcroed down. She's also put these cool little straps on to keep us covers on.
Storage is a little bit of an issue for us at the moment.
This is our wardrobe, and at the moment it's just not been utilised very well at all.
We have bought storage cases, but they are just not working at all.
The plan is to figure out where we're going to put these tabletops and put some shelves in here and do away with this rail because it's just no good. We are just trying to come up with a place to store as tabletops. So we've thought about putting them here, we've thought about putting them down to sides, but we've just said that we could put them up on the ceiling here, and then they'd be right out of the way, they're easy to get to, and it frees up space in this cupboard.
By we, Oliver means I came up with that plan. He said it was rubbish, and now all of a sudden it's fine.
So all we've done with some of these clips is we've stored them up there just by simply putting a piece of wood along, putting one of them clips in. Leanne's just left now, so I'm going to crack on. I'm going to try and get these shelving units in by the time she comes back, because she's going to come back with some storage boxes and stuff. So I'm going to measure them up now, get this done and dusted, and on to the next job. That's the shelving unit finished. On to the next job. It's now 10 o'clock at night and me and Leanne are in van just trying to get a few things done. So I'm going to paint a couple of bits and bobs what we missed first time round.
Another job of our list to do's, the painting's complete. Tick. Oliver is absolutely wonderful at doing certain tasks. However, I get the amazing joy of dealing with the aftermath of every task Oliver creates. And trust me, it takes 5 times longer to deal with the aftermath than what it does Oliver to actually do a task. Let me show you. So Oliver's been in here and he has absolutely ripped apart the van. Everything that is touched is left where he ended it. I mean, the tables look lovely. However, there is just stuff absolutely piled up all over. There's not even like screws put away, or he just literally picks it up and dumps it. The floor, for instance, is just absolutely filthy. And this, my friends, seems to be my job. Does anybody else ever get like into a position where you just think, I don't even know where to start? Lighting is a small issue in our van.
It's not the fact that we haven't got in it, it's just too bloody bright.
And with Valentine's coming up, we're setting the mood.
Ooh, the mood's set.
These are £1.50 and I bought them from One Below, and do you know what, for £1.50 that is epic. So all this is a set of LED lights that were only cheap, they're battery powered, and they are hopefully self-adhesive. So I'm just going to peel this off from the top and stick it on as I go. Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if only one remembers to turn on the light. Open the cupboard that's always dark and dingy.
Can't even get in.
Right, in the top right hand
that's
corner.
much better, isn't it, already?
Yeah. All right, yeah, look. The organisation of the shelves is so much better.
Does Oliver let you use his tools?
No, I haven't put those in. I'm going to show you something even more magical than just shelves. Okay?
He's going to be mad that you've touched his tools.
I haven't touched his tools. He's done the shelves.
He's not done that.
He has. He did it yesterday. So do you know in that top corner, can you see there's a little light switch?
No.
At the front. It's not going to be at the back.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it on. Ta-da!
You need more than that.
No, I do not. Imagine it when it's like dark. You can see.
Not this side, I can't.
Oh, Tia! That is not the response I wanted.
You need another set down this side.
I don't, because it'll just be too much. You know, like when it's really dark, that will help, I
Oh, when
promise.
it's really dark, you'll not even see this side at all.
You will.
You will.
You are such a brat. How are you impressed with the cupboards? And you're impressed with the tables? I put on some magical lights.
You need another set.
Oh, you're just rubbish.
I'm not rubbish.
So another upgrade that we've done is these little map lights, and we've even stuck them on Velcro so we can move them around van where we need them. Up next, I've got the diesel tank to box in for the diesel heater. I've placed it under one of the rear seats. So I'm going to build some boxing around it just so we can use it for storage. You know, if you want to put clothes in there, it's not going to smell of diesel. So this is our diesel tank. I opted for using a jerry can, as the diesel tank what came with the diesel heater, it was just massive and it didn't fit in the van anywhere. So what I've done is I've adapted the lid on this. I don't know if you can see, I'll try and show you. I've adapted the lid on this so that, you know, it all works, it sucks up fine. The only issue I've got is I'd never put a breather on it, so I need to put a breather on it before I box it in.
So Shein is really good for little bits and bobs for your van. If you've not been on, go and have a look. But this order, this is what I've got. Starting with wooden knives and forks. As I've previously demonstrated and have again on this video, I am not a seamstress. So I got the covers from Shein and they've been fantastic. However, sometimes they sag and they move. So another thing in my Shein haul was these wonderful little straps that, like, we take these off all the time because we've got dogs to wash, and sometimes this can get a little bit loose. But these straps that are meant for bedding, I've bought them and just put them on. Again, really, really cheap, and just hold these nice and tight. Now this little contraption cost us about 30 pence and it's going to hold the tickets on our windscreen because we always lose them in the wind. A pet hate of mine is that Oliver leaves our tea towel and dishcloths just hanging around, well, just laid everywhere. So from Shein, I have bought these two sexy numbers, which were about 50 pence. And it means rather than the tea towel sat on the side, they can easily just be shoved there. And because they're dangling freely, it will allow them to dry. I do not care what Oliver says, Shein buys and Velcro are definitely the way forward. So some of the new additions to our camper van include two Velcroed attachments that hold our headlights, and they're like near the door so you can get out and you just pick them out straight away. We have a little box from Shein that we've put our little dog bags that just dispense it, so it stops them being thrown all over the cupboard. Velcroed on my picnic blanket, so that's really easy access. But there's also like a little holder for your umbrella, so if you go out in the rain and your umbrella's wet, you can just put it in its little holder and it'll just dry. This year we bought Oliver a collapsible barbecue / fire pit. We have finally got round to finding space with it. I'm down here with Oliver's tools and it fits absolutely brilliantly. I'll show you it all folded out. So this can be a fire pit or can be a barbecue. So we thought that was pretty good because it's got its own like metal bottom. It folds up pretty flat. I'll pop a link to where we got it from in eBay. But for £18.33 I think it were, and it doesn't take up a lot of space at all. I'm hoping that it's a pretty good buy for maybe an evening on the beach. The next job that we've been putting off has involved the back doors. So we had to buy 2 new back doors and put them on because the ones that we got when we bought the van were all rotten underneath. With that, it had let a lot of water in and that rotted the side panels that are at the back at each side. So they got all rotten. We did sand them down and paint them, but they weren't very nice. So we've decided that we're going to tile them.
Absolutely freezing. Like,
It's so cold.
ridiculously cold. But me and Leanne, we've literally just tiled the sides now in a record-breaking time, might I add.
And it started raining.
Teamwork's paid off. One of the jobs on the list was to change this cupboard. So at the moment, there's just no space in there. You can't store anything in there really. I mean, it's only 6-inch deep at top, at bottom, and 3-inch at top. So it's no good to man to be. So we're going to take it out and adapt it. So I've undone all screws. In theory, it should just come straight out. Easier than expected. Now that I've got this cupboard out, you can see how narrow it is. I mean, it's just not practical. So the idea is we're going to use the same front so that obviously it fits in with the rest of the van, but we're going to build this box out to be wider, just so that it gives us a bit more space, that's all. So that's what I'm going to get on with next. I don't know how long it'll take, but... We've just got finished with the new carcass now, which is here. Hopefully it'll fit. And yeah, it'll just be a case of fastening it in and putting front on, and that'll be that done. It gives loads more room and made it a nice usable space.
The troubles of Ethel are now over and she is back up and running.
We've done absolutely loads, so all been well. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need to touch it again.
And I've got a next list of jobs to do for Oliver to complete when he has a little bit of free time.
Lovely. Yeah, but see, it's all done. Everything's done. It's working. We've done loads of little bits and bobs, so hopefully, you know, it'll see us right.
If you've enjoyed travelling along with us and want to see more from the travels of Ethel, then please subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up.
And hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date with where we end up next, because our next journey is already planned.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Nightwear we had last weekend. Nightwear. After disaster of a weekend that we've had, we've decided to... I banged my head yesterday, so I'm looking a bit of a mess. I do apologise.
What am I doing?
Getting all of Ethel's... I went so wrong! Need mending. This is so freaking hard. We've been doing things at the weekends, so my nose ran then. Great. So Sandy and Tim gave me a top tip on a new kind of like filming. Well, needless to say, I dropped everything out of the cupboard. My phone's been thrown on the floor about 15 times. I think this one might need some practice. I did not nail it. Sandy and Tim are on Instagram and YouTube, the Sand Van. They're in Australia and they've got some amazing, and I mean amazing footage. So you need to go and find them. They are brilliant and so friendly and lovely too.
Oh my god, the tables are so much better up there.
Up next, I'm going to do the...
Thank you for coming, and no, that's rubbish.
That were crap.
All of our upgrades have now been
Wait,
done.
look at my hair.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Oh, look, what's been done as well, haven't we? We've pulp bought list, haven't we? So, right.